Sometimes making a coffee can be extremely confusing, and it's often understanding what the machine does and what the grinder does and working them in some sort of harmony to really get the best out of your espresso. So what better to have the two machines talking to each other? Well, I've got a special surprise for you and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's check it out. Now this machine is called Teio, which actually stands for 2-in-1. The reason it's 2-in-1 is because it combines the grinder and the machine together to talk to one another. Hey guys, I'm Ride, your coffee coach, and I'm here with Silvia Belli from Eureka Factory. Thanks for joining us. And you've got something special to talk about today. These two machines have something that's really revolutionary. Please, take us through it.
I would like to start from the concept of this project. It's a co-branding between Eureka and Quick Mill, two Italian brands. We want to melt the knowledge between Eureka, so the coffee grinders, and Quick Mill, so the coffee machine. Minion Teio is a 65mm burst coffee grinder, grind by weight, and is linked with Bluetooth system to the coffee machine of Quick Mill. What is the idea under this project? You don't have to think a lot about your coffee extraction because it's the coffee machine together with the coffee grinder to guide you to the correct extraction. If we use the portafilter, we put the portafilter on. The coffee grinder starts to grind the amount decided. Perfect. You have just to do a shot, and the coffee machine will send the feedback to the coffee grinder. After 3 shots, if it's not correct, the coffee machine sends a feedback to the grinder, and the grinder automatically changes the grind size and helps you till you find your perfect shot.
A collaboration between Quick Mill and Eureka, where the espresso machine actually talks to the grinder. This technology, I absolutely love this. This is one of the most confusing things for consumers, baristas, everyone, is when you get a shot that's too fine and it runs too short, or it just over extracts and it tastes all bitter. You don't know what to do. So by having the machine, the grinder, talk directly to the machine, it will adjust your parameters of the grind size. The weight will stay the same because it's the grind by weight, and it should fix your extraction. So we'll give it a try. I'm going to try and mess it up here, see if I can make it. Oh, it's already adjusting it. This machine is packed full of features, and I can't go through all the features today because there's so many. One of the major features that I wanted to point out to you is the water hardness sensor. So in this machine, right on the side here, is a water hardness sensor, and that'll track on every single shot. So let's say you're having a problem with scaling down the track, you get a blockage, your technician can come and look at the log and see, you started putting in hard water. At this point, you've been running it, of course you've got an issue. It also will tell you when you add in the water, whether it will bring up a little alarm saying, this is not good water. It won't force you to do anything about it. It will allow you to operate it, but it will alert you to the fact that you're using water that isn't preferable for this machine. So if you want to keep your machine nice and maintenance free, then I would suggest you look at this little icon here which says this water is acceptable within that range, and continue to always monitor that little water hardness. So it's pretty special. This is an actual revolutionary. I have never seen this in any home barista technology yet. I've seen it in commercial where the grinder will talk to the machine and adjust its grind based on what the extraction was, but I haven't seen this in a home setting. This is a project that is between Eureka and with Quick Mill. So Quick Mill, famous for their beautiful, stable design. So we've got in here a heat exchange for the boiler, as well as a thermo block. Not quite a dual boiler system, but it's a dual system, which means that you have two PIDs, one to set the extraction temperature and one for your steam. Also, not only that, a nice little feature here is an expansion valve. So this allows you to essentially play around with your pressure profiling a little bit to give you a sense of, okay, I want to have some low pressure or some high pressure. This can be done on the fly. When you have an extraction that goes too far under the time, in your recipe that you've set on your grinder, it will tell the machine, I am dosing 16 grams out and I want that dose to be delivered within 28 seconds within a range of 3 seconds either side. So let's say if it was 28 seconds was the ideal, and I hit it in 25, that's an acceptable range, or in a 31. But let's say it delivered it in 16 seconds, then it's going to adjust the grinder to find the grind so that it meets that target extraction time. Over the course of using it, it will continually feed that information back into the grinder and adjust your dose. So you don't have to worry anymore about figuring out whether you need to go finer or coarser, or should you dose up or dose down. You set your recipe in the grinder, allow all of your recipes to be set in there. And this is very similar to the Specialita Smart, with the ability to just keep adding recipe after recipe after recipe. At the end of the day, if you want to, you can just use this machine independently. You can actually just decide to, I don't want to play around with that particular recipe. Or let's say you're having a day with a particularly high humidity or a lot of rainfall. Perhaps your coffee tasted great, but it didn't meet the exact requirements set in your recipe. You can then save that recipe back in the grinder and add it to one of your extra recipes on that same coffee. You also set your temperature for your coffee in the grinder. Now that may seem a little bit odd because you'd normally set your temperature on your machine here. Let's say you're playing around with a light roasted coffee and you want to change the temperature. You set it into your recipe and then it will automatically start either lowering or raising the temperature of the water to meet that desired temperature that you set in there. So there are so many other features. This is purely in development, but I'd love to see where this goes. Hopefully I can get my hands on a machine closer to the release date in February 2026. I'm very excited to see where this partnership goes. These are two exceptionally great brands, Quick Mill and Eureka. I think this partnership could completely revolutionize home barista experiences. So let me know in the comments below if this is something that you think you'd be interested in seeing rolled out. Maybe you want to get one for your home. Please drop a comment below, hit like, subscribe. I'm Ryan, your coffee coach, and as always, enjoy your brew.